Let's take you to Mpumalanga next, and that's where the ANC is holding its provincial conference. The first provincial conference since the departure of now ANC Deputy President David Mabuza. The conference was opened by the party's Treasurer General, Paul Mashatile. Let's take you there live, where we find SABC News' Samkele Maseko. Samkele, good evening. It's over to you.
A very good evening to you, Iman. Yes, indeed, the ANC in Mpumalanga is holding the very first provincial conference since the departure of David Mabuza back in 2017 when he was elected Deputy President of the African National Congress. Behind us here is the conference plenary, which was opened by Treasurer General of the party, Paul Mashatile. But we are bringing in PTT member Speedy Mashilo and also David Mahlobo, who is an ANC NEC member. Mr. Mashilo, just the essence of this provincial conference, it's taken you about 6 years to finally come here. COVID-19 prohibited you. How are the delegates feeling towards this conference, particularly knowing that this province was ravaged by violence in your branch general meetings?
Well, first and foremost, let's appreciate and thank the province, the PTT, for deciding to bring this conference here in Nkangal. We're excited indeed, and you can see yourself, it's quite a peaceful conference. It was anticipated to have some fight and all those things, but all those are not happening. We've just received the opening address by Comrade Mashatile and now political report by the chairperson acting Comrade Mandla Ndlovu. We're about to receive the credentials and the organizational report and the treasurer's report. So far we're quite happy. Without having a proper structure, it's always questioned, that there's an illegitimate structures, people want to go to court and all those things. Now if we've got elected structures like the branches, nominated, BGM hold, and at this point we are quite happy that this conference composed of almost 1,000 delegates that are here. About 778 who are voting delegates. Is quite excited, and we're quite happy as the ANC members.
Mr. Mashilo, addressing your perspective, normally referred to as a faction earlier on, outside a hotel in town, you said that your core must not contest the credentials. Why do you have so much confidence that you are winning this conference?
Well, look, it's not about having confidence. It's about the conference proceeding. You correctly said that is almost quite a long time. That's 7 years without having a proper structure. Now, there's no point of us spending time to contest credentials. What we have suggested as regions, speaking to our delegates, said credentials have been dealt with. Branches, they followed the procedures. Anyone who was aggrieved, he had the opportunity to present dispute before the dispute committee. If you are not happy, take it to NDC, and those outcomes are done. This conference is not about a dispute in all this process. So for us not to waste time and have a peaceful conference, we must take the credentials through.
Do you support Ronald Lamula or David Mabuza for deputy presidency in December?
Well, at the moment, we have not come to that particular point. Remember, we must be structures first. So at the moment, we are still a PTT. It will be premature to come to that question. However, it is fair to have the president serving the second term, like many presidents of the ANC that we have supported. And from the point of the region, we did make that point, and certainly we are going towards that direction.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mashilo. Mr. Mahlobo, you are a homeboy of Mpumalanga. Do you support that sentiment of a second term for your president?
Well, at this stage, I'm not a delegate to the conference, and I will not be in a position to make any pronouncement because our organization has not started those particular processes. But equally, we have a very full confidence on the work that His Excellency Comrade President is doing in renewing our movement, as directed by the 54th National Conference, supported by the entire NEC. But let's allow processes of our organization to follow the due processes. At that particular point in time, I'll go to my branch in Nelspruit, and then I'll be in a position to participate and discuss those issues.
A very diplomatic answer, Mr. Mahlobo. Just in essence, the court case today ruled that this provincial conference can go ahead. As an ANC NEC member, I'm sure you've received a briefing. How is the ANC feeling that this conference was able to be defended by your higher structure and those in the SGO office?
Well, we must congratulate the leadership of the province, led by the PTT, but also the leadership of the ANC nationally. led by the SGO, led by Comrade Paul Mashatile, including the legal teams, because one of the most important issues is about the correctness that the ANC must follow its constitution to the latter. When it makes decisions, the decision must be able to stand the test of time, and our courts have pronounced. But equally, we must not try to victimize and cast aspersion on the members of the ANC who have chosen that they are going to go to our courts for a recourse, because this is a constitutional democracy that we have chosen. They were exercising their right. They must be allowed to come back to their organization and serve in the structures without holding this thing that they had a different view about the hosting of the conference.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mahlobo. Good luck on your conference. Thank you. That was David Mahlobo, the ANC NEC member who's part of the deployees to this conference. As we speak now, they are about to start to go to credentials. But one of the most interesting points raised by Mandla Ndlovu, the acting chair, and by Paul Mashatile is that ANC branches need to ready themselves for the big battle of 2024, which in essence means that ANC leaders are already cognizant that the governing party, just like in 2021, when it dropped below 50% for the very first time since the dawn of democracy, has a high possibility of losing outright majority of governance in this country come the 2024 national elections. So they're pushing renewal, they're pushing service delivery of many crumbling municipalities that are led by the ANC, and some of those crumbling municipalities that are not even financially viable are in this very province of Mpumalanga.